What is going on, everybody? This is Tim Odell with Odell Company Concrete. Today we're going to be taking you on a full backyard remodel on this project. It's going to be a multi-part series, a lot of good stuff going on in this project. Here's a little idea of what we're going to be doing on this project. A retaining wall, sand wash finish concrete, a regular broom finish concrete, actually a paver driveway addition in the front. And we also are going to be building a staircase and railing with drains. So here is the backyard right now, and what we're working with, you can see we got a kidney shaped pool, some old Spanish tile, old patio covers here, and just really a really unfunctional space back here. Pretty much walking down these steps, you hit your head on that patio cover. So nothing in this backyard was done very well. I mean, you even have PVCs running on top of the concrete, which makes no sense. And then you got this huge mudslide pile right here in this backyard. And there's no drains, so it just kind of floods back here. So we are also going to be extending the concrete through this whole side yard, continuing all the way to the front. And that is where the pavers are going to start on the ends of the driveways. We have the first bin showing up on site right now, and we're going to be using a lot of these bins, probably about 6 or 7 of these. The retaining wall we dug was just insanely massive, and you'll see how big it was by the end of this job. So we're just starting on the demo, getting as much out as we can today. We got everybody on site, my brother Tyler, Jimmy, Shane, and myself. Alright, so we basically have all the demo done on this job. I am waiting for one more bin to show up so I can scoop the rest of this dirt out that we all have right here. Got a lot of dirt right here, so I'm waiting for that bin. But in the meantime, what we're going to be doing is getting the grate established for this block wall and digging the footing. So what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be setting up where the retaining wall is going to be placed. On the engineered plans, it is 25 feet off the existing fence. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to measure off that fence and go 25 feet off of it. Pull this to that fence. Now go all the way to the fence, all the way to the wall. Okay, so this is 24, so I'll just add one more foot. 24 is right about here. Okay. Then one more foot. Right about there. That's 25 feet right there. And then 8 inches of block. Oh yeah, I think we have enough dug out. Let's see, 8 inches of block. Will be right there, and then I'm supposed to be about 1 foot and 10 inches back. It's gonna be close, man. It's gonna be real close.
And the walls right there.
Because basically, if this is our block wall right here,
yeah, that's like the front.
that's the.
Oh, it's the back.
Yeah, this is the block right here.
Yeah.
Basically, I gotta be 1 foot and 10 inches back from that point for the footing. Gonna mark this like right there. So hopefully that line clears all this, because this will be the ending point of how far we have to dig back all this.
Yeah.
Before we do this, I want to double check the measurement from end to end real quick. I want to see how long this is. You go off the wall.
Okay.
All right, 20 right here. Come over here. Right there. Yep. Yeah, it's about 40 feet exact.
40 feet exactly.
Right there. Now mark that where you have the string line at. So what we did is like put a screw into the wall plumb. This is a plumb straight line of where we need it to be at, 25 feet off that fence. What we're doing now is we're just pulling a straight line, trying to get it perpendicular with the house. So we want to make sure we're nice and square. So what we're gonna do, here's a good trick. Hold me right there. I'm gonna do the Pythagorean theorem. It's called the 12, 16, 20. And this will really check if you're straight. So all I'm doing right here is I'm using the Pythagorean theorem to square out my block wall with the house. And I'm basically measuring one way 16 feet and then one way 12 feet. Okay. And then when you pull the tape from each of those measurements, you should get 20. And that would mean you have a perfect square. And this is a great use case for math you learned in high school. Math that actually came
right here on this
handy.
mark, David. Shane, move in. Move it that way. Keep going. Keep going. Right there.
There, right?
Right there. That's money.
So right about here, when I was digging out this massive footing for this block wall, I ran into a crucial problem. I did not call 811 before I started digging this foundation, and I ended up tearing a huge, massive internet cable line for the whole neighborhood. So I actually had to get AT&T out here to come fix this as fast as possible because the whole neighborhood had no internet, and it was a pricey fix. But I'm sharing this with you guys though because I don't want you guys to make the same mistake as me, and learn from my mistakes. So if you're gonna be doing a big dig project, make sure to call 811. They're free. So not only was it a very pricey fix, but it also slowed me down on the whole digging process of this footing. And I couldn't start digging again until they were done fixing that cable. Luckily, they were pretty quick about the whole process, so I was able to get back to work the very next day.
Alright, so we're just reviewing the plans really quick, going over all of the engineering for this block wall that we're setting or doing right now. You can see this thing's massive footing. It's about 4.5 feet wide. We got a 2.5 foot drop in the key of the footing. We're going to be doing number 5 rebar 8" on center, top and bottom of this footing, and then also there's going to be J hooks at the bottom of the key, 8" on center as well. So this thing is going to be, it's going to be gnarly. We did modify the plans though with the engineer, just so we didn't have to do a 7-foot wide footing. We changed it down to 4.5 foot wide instead of 7 feet wide, because that's a little crazy. The only thing we had to do instead though was now, instead of these rebars being 18" on center or 16" on center, they're going to be 8" on center. So more rebar, but not as big of a footing, because this footing alone would have been about 30 yards. Now it's going to be only 20. Not a big difference, but it's better than pouring 30 yards, I guess. And then we're going to be doing for the verticals, it's 8" on center, and then horizontal 8" on center as well. So it's gonna be a crazy wall, I would say. I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think about this engineered block wall in the comments section. But we're gonna get back to digging this out, getting this thing ready, so we can start putting some rebar in there.
So this foundation was pretty massive, probably the largest one I've ever done, and it was very intricate with all the rebar out and how much rebar was inside this wall. And I want you guys to take some guesses on how much I spent in rebar for this block wall, because it was a substantial amount. You guys should also probably guess on how much I spent on a chiropractor to fix my back after digging this massive footing out. Digging this little key area was all hand dug, and the lower we got, the harder the dirt it got. It was all just hard clay and heavy rocks. So this was definitely a back-breaking foundation job. And if you notice the line running down the center of the key, that is our reference height for the top of concrete for this foundation footing. So basically all we were doing was we'd measure down the center of the key to the top of that string line to see where we were at for this footing. Technically we had to be around, I think it was like 50 inches from the bottom of that key to the top of that string line. So it was pretty deep. And then now I'm just putting in the form for the outside of the footing, and then I'm just going to let it run wild against the hillside, or the two-tiered side of the backyard. And then you can also see we are going to be setting a 2x4 to the top of that string line, and the concrete is going to be going right at the bottom of that 2x4, and that 2x4 is going to be what we're going to attach all the upright rebar to.
All right, we're in the trenches right now. We're getting this 2x4 set up for the middle of the footing, so that when we do attach our L rebar, we can get it right in on the center of all the blocks. It's gonna be 8" on center for every L rebar we put in. Let me show you an example. Where's my L bar? Where's the L bar at?
It is.
Let's go get it.
Right there.
I think it's somewhere down here. Let's go find it real quick. Ooh, it's tight. It's really tight in this footing.
Gotta move it. Walk right there.
So this is gonna be our rebar. It's gonna be a lot of rebar in this footing, but this bar is basically gonna be held up by this 2x4 in the middle. It's gonna go on there like this. It's gonna be 8" on center. Basically, in every cell of the block, we're gonna have a number 5 rebar running through it like this, and then also we're gonna have a lot more rebar running top and bottom of our footing, going I think 8 across and 8 at the bottom. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. So it's gonna look something like this, with the L facing the heel of the footing. But you can see, if you look down, we're getting this all centered and getting it set up. You can see our custom stakes that we're doing as well. We're making all these custom stakes because they don't have 5-foot stakes, and this footing is very deep, so we had to make our own custom wood stakes. But it's working out pretty solid. We're gonna be bracing this one a little bit more though. As you can see, this one's a little loose, but that one's really solid. So I'm gonna go back over here. We're gonna toe nail this 2x4 on, and also put a stake in.
Honestly, that one does kind of need to be coming down.
Oh, really?
It's a little,
No. It's getting.
Oh, is it snagged?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
snagged.
never mind.
All right.
Oh.
Alright. Okay. That should be solid. Hold it. I'm gonna screw it. Okay. Alright. That looks pretty good.
Alright, so now that we have the main forms in for our whole footing to kind of go off for setting up our rebar and getting the right grade of the foundation set, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be putting these boards across from the outside form to the middle form. And what that's going to do for us is it's going to also help brace the single 2x4 in the center of the footing. And it's also going to help us get all of our rebar hung off of those 2x4s that are hanging on top of it.
So these nails, they're going to represent each bar that's going to be laying in the major top part of the footing. It's going to be 3 inches from the top and 3 inches from the bottom for each one of these nails. But for right now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting the key fitting set up. And we're going to be placing rebar 8 inches on center all the way up. So that's what we're going to be focusing on.
It's like playing Twister. You don't like Twister? I like Twister.
Oh, I can tell you look like a pro down there. Switching positions and everything.
Nobody gave me a green.
So I guess the best thing first to do would be to first just wrap some wire around it at the bottom
Of the bar?
Yeah. Give it like a couple loops, whatever.
Grab this one?
You know what? It could actually, you could guys be on this side. This will be easier if you just chill on this side and do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true.
That's a good idea. Got some jams going, dude. Go all the way to the end.
Yeah.
All right. You got wire? Okay.
Yeah.
Because in construction, dude, like no matter what job it is or no matter what, even if you don't know, there's always something to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially with us, because like there's filming. You can be filming.
I don't know.
You
What
know?
I'm saying, dude, is that I know every job that I've ever had to work always has been the hardest. It's like there's no other job that I could ever get.
Always been the hardest.
Always just been hard.
Well, what about this? This is kind of nice, right?
No, this is hard, but it's fun. That's great. I get to work with you guys, and that's the exception of it, you know.
Yeah, it's a little physical.
Can't just be like,
It's
oh,
definitely a little
somewhere
physical.
else and expect to have a chilling job. No, it's every job.
Not days like this though, huh? This is nice. We're just sitting down, tying rebar.
Rebar.
Yeah, this is a vibe, dude. We're just chilling.
We're hanging out.
We're not sweating.
No.
Taking it
We're hanging out with friends.
until we start cutting and bending rebar.
Yeah.
We're bending it.
It's gonna be pretty rough.
Then it's not a
But
vibe.
I could do that, honestly, Shane, if you just want to help Timmy cut.
Yeah, I mean, however, whatever you guys.
I mean, I don't really care.
I put another. By the way, Shane, I got another piece of rebar right behind you. You measured that, right? You're 8. Alright, well, that's basically it right here. Let's go set the rebar bender up. Let's get the drops all set up.
Looks good. It looks straight too.
Yeah, it does, huh? Looks perfect.
We're looking for 18-inch bends. 36 inches going up. Do it.
So what you guys were seeing right there was our rebar bender. It helps bend the bars so much quicker than just bending things by hand. Because we had to bend a lot of bars on this job, and these bars were big. They were number 5 rebar, so that is 5/8 in diameter. And we had to do, I think like probably about 150 bends in total for this job. And some of these were pretty unique. Some of these bars were bent on both ends, on the top and bottom. I call them Z bars because they look like Z's once you're done bending them. So you see that little bend we put right there, a little bend at the front and then a big bend on the bottom. The little bend is going to go inside of the little key at the bottom, and then the larger bend is going to go up top. So basically we're just bending the bars, passing them down to my brother Tyler, and he would put them in. It's pretty nice too because Tyler brought the Makita rebar tire, so it made the process go by a lot faster than just old-fashioned hand tying.
It's dangerous down here, man. Got cut up already.
Alright, let's drop some of the rebar, bring to the other side. Or
Show you guys what's going on down here. Alright, so this is the process. Start off with the Z-bar. We already got it marked out, 8 inches on center. We're gonna drop the Z-bar down right here. Hook it under that bottom bar. And we're gonna scoot it over just a little bit. Right there, looks pretty good. Got the Makita rebar tire, and we're just gonna start zipping them. Boom. Very limited access down here, so it makes it tricky, but we're doing it. Now we need an L bar. Once we get that Z bar all hooked up, we get this L bar right here, and it's gonna be right on that dot. And each one of these uprights represent a cell for the blocks. So we just gotta make sure they're 8 inches on center, and they'll hit every cell for this retaining wall. Shout out Makita for this rebar gun. They gave it to us on that red concrete garage we did. You guys probably seen that video. Boom.
so we're almost done with this rebar grid setup. It's a pretty intense rebar grid. Probably the most intense rebar grid setup I've ever done. But yeah, it's looking good, it's looking nice. We got inspection coming tomorrow. Hopefully pass first try, no problems. And we can get this foundation poured for this. Other than that, yeah, we're just putting in our horizontals right now. You can kind of see the setup we're using right here. It's a pretty simple setup. It works well though for what we're doing. We got one 2x4 running down the middle of our rebar grid, which is basically what we use to attach everything to. We got these nice L bars for our verticals. Then we also got these little Z bars, because they're basically L's facing the opposite way, one at the bottom, one on top.
And so that's basically the whole setup for this rebar grid and foundation block wall we're going to be building. Hopefully that was a pretty well detailed video for anyone out there that's doing something similar to this design. Make sure you guys are going to stay tuned for part 2, because that's where we're going to be pouring the foundation of this and then also building the block wall. There's the cable line that I actually cut and had to get AT&T out here. But you can see just how in-depth this rebar grid really was. So I don't think that this block wall is going to be going anywhere after this setup right here. So I hope you guys really enjoyed though. Make sure you guys leave a like, share, subscribe, comment any questions you guys have in the comment section below, and stay tuned. Have a great one.